Some books were never meant to be read. At least that's what rulers and religions believed. These aren't just old pages with words. They were seen as threats, filled with dangerous ideas, secrets, and forbidden knowledge. Today, we're digging into the dark truth behind the most banned books in history. Books so powerful, they were burned, buried, or completely erased from public view. Witch Hunter's Manual? This story takes us back to the year 1486, when a Catholic clergyman wrote one of the most feared books in history. It was called the Malleus Maleficarum, or the Hammer of Witches. This book claimed to explain everything about witches, what they looked like, how they behaved, and how they should be punished. The author said his views matched those of the church. But many religious leaders didn't agree and pushed back. Still, that didn't stop the book from spreading like wildfire. Here's where things turned dark. During the Renaissance, people actually used this book to go after anyone they thought was doing magic. Women were especially targeted, often accused of witchcraft with no proof. They were tortured, punished, or even killed, all based on what this book said. The Malleus Maleficarum wasn't just a book. It became a deadly tool used in the name of religion, showing how dangerous ideas can become when people blindly follow them. The Lenin Book of Zagreb. This book holds a secret older than any European library. Known as the Lenin Book of Zagreb, it's believed to be the oldest book in Europe, going all the way back to the 3rd century BC. But here's the strange part, no one can fully read it. The entire book is written in a forgotten language, and so far, experts have only figured out small pieces of it. What they've found hints that it might be some kind of ritual calendar, but the full message, still a mystery. Now here's where it gets even crazier. The book wasn't found in a library or hidden in a cave. It was discovered in Egypt. And not on a shelf, but wrapped around a mummy. That's right, the linen used to preserve the mummy turned out to be the very pages of this ancient book. This discovery shocked historians and added even more mystery to a book many believe should have never been touched. Voynich Mystery Book. This book isn't just strange, it feels like it was made to confuse anyone who opens it. Found in the 1400s, during the time of the Italian Renaissance, the Voynich manuscript looks old and mysterious, but here's the shocking part. It's written in a language that doesn't exist. People have studied it for over 600 years and still no one has been able to read even one sentence. Every page is filled with unknown letters and symbols, almost like someone created a secret code that no one on Earth can crack. But it gets even weirder when you see what's drawn inside. The pages are full of strange pictures, odd-looking humans, animals with bizarre shapes, and creepy scenes that don't follow any logic. These aren't like Egyptian hieroglyphs or anything that tells a story. It's just madness on paper. Some images are so disturbing that experts don't even want to describe them out loud. People keep trying to solve it, hoping to unlock a secret, but maybe, just maybe, this book was never meant to be understood. Codex Seraphinius. This book isn't like anything you've seen before. Created by Luigi Serafini, the Codex Seraphinianus looks like it came from another world. It's filled with 360 pages of strange and colorful drawings, showing made-up creatures, bizarre objects, and scenes that don't exist in real life. The craziest part, the whole book is written in a language no one understands. And it's not meant to be translated. It's completely made up. Some pictures feel familiar, like they're from Earth, but most are wild fantasies. It's as if the book wants to show us the power of pure imagination without any rules. Necronomicon, the fake book that feels real. This might sound strange, but one of the most famous forbidden books in horror is completely fake. Yes, the Necronomicon never really existed. It was invented by the horror writer H.P. Lovecraft, who once said the name came to him in a dream. Some believe he borrowed ideas from other authors of his time, but either way, the book's name roughly means Book of the Dead. In his stories, the book gives people power over the dead and dark magic. But all of it was just fiction. Even Lovecraft admitted he made up the whole thing, including the name itself. But here's where it gets wild. Even though Lovecraft said it was all fake, fans treated the book like it was real. Some even made their own versions and claimed it had real spells. Museums, like the British Museum, have had copies made by fans even though the original was never real. The Necronomicon became a horror icon in movies, especially in the Evil Dead franchise, and has popped up in places like DC Comics too. It's a perfect example of how a fake story can grow into something legendary, just because people want to believe. The Book of Soyga. Let's go back to the 1500s when magic was taken very seriously. The Book of Soiga was all about spells, astrology, demons, and hidden meanings in the stars. A famous scholar named John Dee owned the book and studied it deeply until he died and the book vanished. Centuries later, it was found again in 1994, and experts began unlocking its secrets, but even today, parts of the book remain a mystery. Some pages can't be translated at all. Inside, there are strange, magical texts and codes that no one fully understands. It makes you wonder, was this book trying to hide something even bigger? Book of the Dead. Let me tell you something truly mysterious. The real Egyptian Book of the Dead isn't like a normal book at all. It was a collection of magical writings created around 1500 BC during Egypt's New Kingdom. These weren't just stories or prayers. They were powerful spells, written by priests over hundreds of years. The Egyptians believed these spells helped the dead safely travel into the afterlife. When someone died, these scrolls were placed in their tomb right beside the body so the magic could guide their soul through the dangers of the next world. Here's where things get even more interesting. There wasn't just one version of the Book of the Dead. Each scroll was different. Some people even bought special versions with specific spells they believed worked better for their journey after death. Whether or not those spells truly worked doesn't matter now. What does matter is that the Egyptians had deep faith in this process. For them, helping their loved ones find peace beyond death was one of the most sacred things they could do. Book of Enoch. There's a mysterious book that many people have never heard about, even though it's deeply connected to the Bible. It's called the Book of Enoch. While it's not officially included in the Bible, it was written around the same time, between 300 and 100 BCC. And what's fascinating is that this book explains how demons came into the world, how some angels fell from heaven, and even talks about a future Messiah who would rule for 1,000 years. It's part history, part prophecy, and it tells a story that feels just as powerful as anything in the Bible. What makes this even more interesting is that many people believe the Bible actually refers to the Book of Enoch, even though it's not one of the official texts. In fact, there are 3 versions of it, and scholars still study them today to understand their meaning. For some, this book reveals secrets that were never meant to be lost. It may not be in the Bible, but it still shapes the way many people see the past and the future. Devil's Bible. This book has a very dark mystery. People call it the Devil's Bible, but its real name is Codex Gigas. What makes it so scary is the huge drawing of Satan inside it. Some even believe the devil himself helped write it. Even though it's called the Devil's Bible, it's actually a full Latin Bible, and it also includes other strange writings. It's the biggest handwritten book from the medieval times that still exists today, and that alone makes it even more mysterious. Now here's the creepy part. Long ago, a monk was punished by the church and trapped inside a wall. He knew he was going to die, so he tried to make a book that would bring him honor, but it was impossible to finish in one night. So, in desperation, he made a deal with the devil. The story says Lucifer helped him finish the book, and in return, the monk drew a giant picture of the devil inside. That's how this legendary book got its haunted name. 9 Unknown Men. This story starts with a mysterious book called The 9 Unknown by Talbot Mundy. It wasn't just a normal book. It told the tale of a secret group of 9 men who were trusted with protecting powerful knowledge that could be dangerous for the world. Each of these 9 men had a book full of secrets, things like science, technology, and ideas that could destroy everything if used the wrong way. After the book came out, fans got obsessed. Some people even started saying these 9 men were real and went deep into describing what was in their secret books, even though the story was fiction. Now here's the wild part. The whole idea is said to go back to ancient India in the 3rd century BC during the time of Emperor Ashoka. He was a real king who ruled almost the whole Indian subcontinent. After seeing the horrors of the Kalinga War, Ashoka changed completely and followed Buddhism. But the legend says he also created this secret group to hide dangerous knowledge from the world. He picked 9 brilliant minds and gave them the mission to guard this information. None of it has ever been proven true, but this old tale still inspires movies, shows, and wild theories today, all from one story that went way beyond what its author ever imagined. Grand Grimoire. This is not your usual magic book with fun spells and harmless tricks. The Grand Grimoire is a book feared by many because it's all about black magic, the darkest kind. It's said to hold 2 powerful books inside it. One teaches how to summon a demon and build tools to control it. Sounds dangerous already, right? People have tried using it to force demons to do their bidding, but it usually ends badly, as you can imagine. The second part of the book goes even deeper. It shows how to make a deal with dark spirits without using spells, just by using special tools. But there's a catch. It's risky and can harm the person using it. Still, many have used it hoping to win the lottery, become invisible, or even make someone fall in love with them. Tempting stuff, but it comes with a heavy price. Relic Scrolls. This ancient scroll is over 6 meters long and filled with mysterious drawings and writings. But it's all focused on one goal: creating the legendary Philosopher's Stone. Yes, the same stone believed to give eternal life and the power to turn anything into silver or gold. Imagine a guide to such power sitting right in front of you, yet being almost impossible to understand. That's what makes this scroll so fascinating and frustrating at the same time. Even though the instructions are right there, it's like reading a riddle from another world. Only those who truly understand old school alchemy can even begin to figure it out. Some believe this was on purpose, to keep such powerful secrets away from the wrong hands. After all, maybe eternal life and turning metal into gold isn't meant for everyone. Popol Vuh. This story starts with a book that almost vanished forever. The Popol Vuh is more than just old paper and ink. It's the heart of an entire people's past. Written by the Maya people of Guatemala, it shares their legends, their gods, and how they believe the world began. But it's not just myths. It also tells the real story of their lives, their rulers, and the roots of their culture. For the descendants of the Maya, this book is deeply sacred, a priceless treasure that connects them to who they truly are. But the book nearly disappeared from the world. When Spanish colonizers arrived, they tried to erase everything Maya, from temples to traditions, and yes, even their stories. Most copies of Popol Vuh were burned and lost forever, but somehow one copy survived, just one. And because of that, we still know the powerful voices of an ancient civilization that refused to be forgotten. The Red Book. Something strange happened when Carl Jung hit the lowest point of his life. Instead of running from it, he chose to face it head on. For 3 years, he locked himself away from the world, not in madness, but in deep self-discovery. He began writing and drawing everything he felt, saw, and dreamed during that time. This wasn't just a diary. It became a mysterious book filled with symbols, visions, and deep thoughts. That book is now known as the Red Book, a journey into the unknown corners of the human mind. What makes this even more surprising is that Jung wasn't just any man. He was once close friends with Sigmund Freud, one of the biggest names in psychology. But after their friendship broke apart, Jung needed to find his own path. Some people believe he went insane during this process. Others think he unlocked secrets about the mind and soul that most of us will never understand. Whatever the truth is, the Red Book remains one of the most mysterious and powerful self-explorations ever written. The Kybalion. Some books look ancient, wise, and connected to old Greek knowledge, but not everything is what it seems. The Kybalion is one of those books that makes people think it's continuing the work of ancient Greek thinkers. At first glance, it feels like it carries the same wisdom. People even compare it to the teachings of old philosophers. But when you look a little closer, the story takes a strange turn. Dig a bit deeper and you'll find something unexpected. The ideas in the Kybalion start to lean more toward the world of the occult, secret teachings, and hidden meanings. It's almost like the author wanted to attract curious minds with old school wisdom, but quietly led them toward a completely different path. What seemed like a spiritual guidebook might actually be a mysterious detour. The Book of Thoth. Some strange hides behind the name Book of Thoth. It's not just one book like people think. It's believed to be a collection of writings linked to the ancient Egyptian god Thoth, who was the god of writing and knowledge. Because of that, many scrolls, texts, and even carvings inside tombs were said to carry his wisdom. Followers believed these writings held Thoth's teachings, so they all got wrapped into the idea of being the Book of Thoth. But here's where it gets even deeper. This mysterious book is said to hold every secret about magic, nature, the laws of the universe, and even life after death. Imagine having access to such power, all from words left behind by a god. That's why over the centuries, people have searched for it, protected it, and even feared it. Because if it's real, it's not just a book. It's a doorway to ancient forbidden knowledge. Protocols of Zion. This one is dark and disturbing. A long time ago, a fake book called The Protocols of the Elders of Zion was written, not for fame or praise, but to spread hate and lies. Just like how we hear fake news today, this book was used to confuse people and make them believe something totally wrong was actually true. It didn't come from honest research or truth. It was made to create fear and turn people against the Jewish community. What's worse is that this book wasn't just some internet rumor. It was made in the 1930s by people in Russia who wanted the world to believe that Jews were secretly planning to control everything. It's a textbook example of pure hate turned into fake literature. And sadly, even today, some still refer to this false book as if it's real. That's the dangerous power of lies dressed up as truth. Pistis Sophia? This one's not like the usual stories you hear. Pistis Sophia is a mysterious book that talks about what happened to Jesus Christ after he rose from the dead. In the Bible, Jesus appears to his disciples and then goes to heaven. But in this story, he stays on earth much longer, around 11 years. During that time, he shares deep spiritual secrets with his followers, teaching them about the hidden truths of heaven and the divine realms. What makes it even more fascinating is that other well-known characters from the Bible also show up in this strange tale. The book feels like it's trying to reveal something bigger, something different from what's found in regular Christian teachings. It's not a blasphemous story, but it definitely walks a different path. The setting is unusual, the ideas are complex, but it's clear the writer had a deep and mysterious message to share. Mayan Mystery Book? This is not just any old book. It's called the Dresden Codex, and it's one of the oldest books ever found in the Americas, written way back in the 11th or 12th century by the ancient Mayan people. This book is like a secret window into their world. It talks about stars, planets, and even how they saw the future using astrology. Inside, you'll also find their beliefs about seasons, sickness, and medicine. For the Maya, all this wasn't just science, it was their way of life. Now here's what makes it even more special. The book includes rare knowledge about how the planets and moons move together, something the Mayans deeply cared about. They used this information to plan their lives, their crops, and even their ceremonies. It's amazing that this priceless piece of history has survived in such good condition. The Dresden Codex is not just a book, it's a key to understanding how a powerful ancient civilization saw the world. Dead Sea Scrolls mystery. It all started with a random discovery that changed history forever. Some people were wandering near the Dead Sea in the West Bank when they found a cave filled with old jars. Inside those jars were pieces of ancient scrolls, some complete, some just broken fragments. At first, they had no idea what they had found. They showed them to a few people just to see if they were worth anything. What they didn't know is that these scrolls held ancient chapters of the Bible and were about to become one of the biggest religious discoveries of all time. Once experts realized how valuable they were, a huge search began. Over the next 10 years, more than 15,000 scrolls and fragments were found in nearby caves. Most were written in Hebrew, some in Aramaic, and a few even in Greek. Today, the scrolls are studied deeply, though many countries argue over who truly owns them. These scrolls are not locked away as secret forbidden books, but they are so rare and important that only top experts are allowed to handle them. They've traveled around the world and millions of people have seen them, but up close only a few ever will. If these books were so dangerous they had to be banned, what else might still be hidden? Hit the like button, subscribe for more forbidden stories, and let me know which book shocked you the most.